You're listening to The Rob
Anybody.
and Dawn Show. Call Rob and Dawn at 888-989-9811 or listen online at radradio.com.
Oh, hey, Nick, can you do me a favor before I read these emails?
Yes.
We have Queenie in your room.
Okay.
Answering the phones, right? Can you ask her if she was born in a barn? She keeps coming through the main studio and leaving the door open.
Oh my God, I was going to say something too.
Just decided to do it on the air. This is how we do things on the show. Publicly shame people. And poor Dawn has to go around and close two doors.
I'm like, I am not the
studio.
door shutter around here, people.
We got. Oh, by the way, I got an email from Charlie at Black Dog Graphics. We got our cookbooks are on sale now for a holiday delivery pre-sale. 2 different cookbooks. There's the regular one, 400 recipes. There's the cocktail one. I won't tell you the number, but you send in how many we sold already. But it started with 2 words. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. We really do appreciate it.
Cookbooks. I mean, all of our stuff sells amazingly. But I've just noticed over the years, cookbooks and brine, there's just something about it. People go nuts.
Now more than ever with people having, in fact, I've got that, I've got it, shut up, I've got it right here.
Okay, well organized.
Now that we've spent a year or half a year rather cooking more than usual, while 53% of Americans say they have at least one dish they make that would wow an actual chef. 3 out of 4 say that they make the same things over and over again.
God, that's what I feel like.
And the average American says they only have 4 go-to meals that they really feel confident about. So when you add all that in, the cookbooks this year more than ever are just super. And that's why when we decided to do it in 2020, we said we have to go all the way. We have to make this the complete RAD collection, everything, throw it all in there. So that's why it's going to be such a big cookbook.
Like, I'm so happy for this. Do I need to pre-order it? Because that's how I feel. I feel like I'm making the same stuff. I know every Tuesday is Taco Tuesday. But my husband, God bless him.
It doesn't have to be, you know.
He could actually eat tacos every single day. So I know he wants them somewhere in the week. So I just always do it on a Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. But sometimes it's again on a Saturday. Tacos again. And there are meals in the past I've made where Queenie, my niece who lives with us, and Pops and Gary, well, my husband will be like, God, that was amazing. And I'll forget as they're saying it to write it down. So then when it comes time to do the week's worth of menus, I'm like, God, what was that I made that they liked? And I'm trying to go in my bookmarks. How you do? Like, you do that on your laptop?
Everything. This is all so exhausting to me. I don't... And it's so foreign. Everything
I said.
I know how common and normal it is. It is also, and it's always been foreign to me. When I was young and poor, 2 things. First, this idea that there's a certain day of the week that you eat a certain meal, whether it's stupid Taco Tuesday or whether it's every Sunday we're going to have roast beef. Why?
Yeah.
That's what we did in the 70s because we didn't have anything. We didn't have technology. We didn't have microwaves. We didn't have Walmart. We didn't have stores. There's no reason.
Tradition.
It's dumb. I don't get it.
Well, you don't like tradition.
Secondly, this idea of this planning of meals, but just go stop at the store or order on the day or have a well-stocked pantry.
I don't know why I feel the need.
You do not know, whoever you are.
Yeah.
You do not know on Saturday what you or anyone else in your house is going to want on Thursday.
Oh.
And then you force them to eat it.
Listen, here's the thing.
Ugh,
we have this in the kitchen, the hallway of the kitchen, hallway going into the kitchen. There's like one of those chalkboards you could put up. And I used to put Monday, Tuesday, each day of the week and what the meal would be. So everyone would know what our dinners were for the week.
God.
No, but to your point,
a child in the cafeteria.
I know I love doing that though, but
God.
I stopped doing it. You want to know why? Because to your point, whatever day would come and I'd be like, I don't even want to make that.
Right.
And that doesn't even sound good. And I decide what we're all eating, and because they'll just eat whatever I make. And
because they'll starve otherwise.
So I did stop doing that, but I haven't stopped making the menu and I'll write it down in my phone. So then I'll do the grocery list, and it still happens. It still happens, and then we end up end of the week, and I'm like, I need to use these ingredients. I don't want these vegetables to go bad. I was supposed to use these 3 days ago. Blah 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 blah.
And that is where the cookbook comes in handy.
Yeah,
because you can start scrolling through it and going, okay, let's see, what do we got here? Because that's normal. And especially in 2020 more than ever, and because we are eating the same things over and over again. So they're up and running at maggotmall.com. We got this email from Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Says, Rob, I know that Brando needed this time off, and with you being such an amazing boss, you not only helped Brando with his issues, you also helped someone else too. You helped out Nick's wife.
Aww.
No doubt she too was dealing with a crisis. Nick did say that disaster follows them everywhere. Just think, they've been married for a while. She's probably about to jump off the roof, but you gave her a break from him. Also, how is he married to her? She's so out of his league. Nick, these are questions that we've all had, those last two in particular.
She is absolutely out of my league, and I have not heard from her for a few days. So.
By the way, how long have you guys been married now?
11 years.
I don't know how she puts up with
I don't
it.
either.
She's so amazing.
We're getting a lot of emails like this one from James.
Hi, James.
Says, can we do a short best of Nick, like the time he drank out of the plunger?
No!
Yeah. Weren't there multiple plunger incidents, or was there just that one?
For my wife who was listening, that never happened.
Was that the you dipped the plunger in the toilet at 98 Rock?
No, that was at a live event. It was at a local bar in Sacramento, and everyone was drinking a lot, and we thought it'd be fun.
We did. We thought that'd be hilarious.
The plunger was? Because we got this email.
No, you're right. I'm thinking of the turkey leg.
Yep, because this guy, whoever this is, says, I remember being in high school, back when you guys would do live shows, and watching Nick eat a turkey leg that was rubbed in a urinal just to prove that germs are everywhere and he wouldn't get sick.
I thought it was a plunger.
This all started back in the day with Dawn being a germaphobe and me trying to prove to Dawn that you'll be fine, you'll survive. So it started with me licking the floor and licking the wall, and then the ante got upped with the toilet plunger, and I think I topped myself with the turkey leg in the public toilet.
And the toilet plunger was at 98 Rock.
Yeah,
and
that was at 98.
Did you drink out of it?
I did, yeah.
The toilet water.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we did the turkey leg rubbed in a public urinal.
Yes, and again, it's
and you died from all of this.
Yes, I clearly have been impaired.
We're missing two others. Stand out with me.
I know the one.
What? Okay.
On the bus. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll do the golf course. We were doing a golf tournament.
Oh, I remember that one.
And Nick's sandwich that had meat and cheese and mayo. Help me with my memory. I feel like you purposely had it out all day long in the sun and then ate it. He then ate it.
This was at a charity golf tournament that the show was at, and it was about 105 degrees that day.
Oh, God.
And I had forgotten the sandwich actually out in the sun.
Oh, okay.
And
I thought you did it on purpose.
remembered it, and it was like piping hot. It had really been out there a few hours.
Oh,
So
hot mayonnaise.
I thought, I'll give it a sniff, and if it's okay, then we'll give it a try. Worst case scenario, have to sit on the commode later. That's fine. And I ate it, and I was fine.
Oh, God, it was disgusting. And then the bus.
How was the sandwich? Because hot mayonnaise just doesn't sound appealing. See, this goes back to the point I was making earlier. When you're hungry, you'll eat anything.
Right.
Was it a desperation?
I think it was. We were out there all day, and I'd forgotten to eat. But the hot mayo is with the hot cheese and the hot meat.
Was there lettuce on there? Was there hot lettuce?
Well, there was what once was lettuce. The lettuce had turned into sort of this paper mache type stuff. But I lived.
Oh, that was awful.
The other thing, the cheese thing, I got paid to do. We were on the 98 Rock tour bus going.
So this is so far back. A lot of people don't know.
This is so far back.
Way far back.
98 Rock in Sacramento used to have what we called Rolling Thunder. It was literally a bus, and we had a bus driver, and we would do events. We would put listeners on there. We would go to shows,
Baseball games.
It just got too expensive, too dangerous, and so they got rid of the bus. But it's a literal giant tour bus.
Yeah.
And the STDs that have been transmitted on that bus, you don't even want to know.
Grief.
There was so much sex had in that bus by various employees of the radio station, either with each other, with listeners.
Well, the guy that used to be the driver of the bus, pretty damn hot.
I'm sure.
So, yeah.
There was more of his DNA than anyone's on that bus.
So again, I wanted to up the ante. I was bored and or drunk, or one of the two. And there was some like deli cheese that had been brought out for the event.
Yeah, we had a platter.
A little platter. And it had been out there for the entire night of the event. So I got the cheese, and I decided to take the cheese, and I rubbed it on the floor of the bus to try to scoop up as much.
Wasn't it the windowsill?
But he did that as
I
well.
started with the window. It's a combo deal. Anyway, and I did it. I was threatening Dawn to do it, and then
you could see on the cheese. You could see like the hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you remember there were blinds in the tour
Yes,
bus.
the blinds,
that had never been cleaned
Yes.
since the day they bought it. I'm convinced.
We're a rock station.
It was disgusting.
And somebody else in the bus took out a 20, and I was young and poor, and That's the end of that story.
God, that was disgusting.
Part of
Ew.
Charlie's email from Black Dog Graphics when he was telling us to give me the update on the Maggot Mall and all the cookbook selling. He combined all those stories into one. He said, "Can we get Nick to drink from a toilet plunger? I'll throw $20 in." This is from Gary.
Nick. Hi, Gary.
Says, since Nick is back for a couple of days, can we go back to wishing AIDS on people that we don't like? I truly miss Nick eating raw sewage on the air, basically bringing raw sewage as his food to a get-together. But the AIDS, I really miss wishing AIDS on people. I'm so sorry for what Brandon's going through, but truly we'll cherish the moments we have with the only producer that looks exactly like Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, well, that's the truth.
I had to retire the wishing AIDS on people thing because people are surviving that now. So
That is so funny. That is exactly what I said while you were in the air on whatever day you were flying here. Because somebody asked that, and I said I don't know if it still lands because people, AIDS isn't a death sentence anymore. And
that's why it was funny, right? Before.
Hysterical. Oh yeah. Yeah, the LGBTQ community loved that bit. They didn't even have all those initials back then.
No.
They didn't have marriage back then, for God's sake.
I think it was LGB.
This is RAD@radradio.com. This one is from Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl.
Dawn was boring us to tears earlier with her recap, a kind of recap of This Is Us. Not only boring us, but depressing us. Because it was right after somebody had written in and said, oh, this is great. It's just going to be a light show. And then Dawn said, aha, that's my signal to bring down the room. Let me tell you without watching This Is Us.
You're happy you're not getting any COVID right now?
And she talked about how the season premiere, it starts off with right before COVID and then goes into COVID and then goes into George Floyd. It was right about there. You said, I can't do this, right?
I'm out, yeah.
So Cheryl says, I have a tip for Dawn for This Is Us. They did cram in a lot of 2020 in the first 30-ish minutes of the show, but once they get past George Floyd and start getting into the character storylines, it fades away.
Okay, good, because I am liking the character storylines.
She says there are some glaring wait-a-minute moments, like when a boyfriend is supposed to come visit and they say he's been strictly quarantining, but he comes over and shows off pictures from being at social justice protests. But all in all, if you get past 45 minutes, it's the same tear-jerking show.
Nice, okay, perfect, because I was looking forward to crying.
For those of you that are wondering, Rob, why did you read that? It's only because it's a popular show. It's not for Dawn.
No, why would he do that?
This is from, on that issue, this is from Raul.
Hey, Raul. So I had a Raul once.
Yes, in the station van, I believe.
No, that's a different guy. And they were boyfriends.
Yes, all boyfriends for a few days, a couple weekends.
Stop.
This Raul says, because in that terribly boring and depressing story of Dawn, we were talking about that you can try to do the show really light, and we can try to pretend that the world doesn't exist, but it's going to be there either when you stop listening or look, if we did nothing but silliness and reminisce with Nick today and tomorrow, then over the weekend or on Monday or at the end of the show, you're going to go, oh God, the world is still there. And the problem is, it's not just like the election. It's not just the election. We don't know when it is, but it does have an end point. We know that we don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know when it's going to be. The COVID thing is the thing that we're talking about because it's never ending. And what's really getting to a lot of you is that for some reason, even after all these months, you've stopped listening to me. I keep telling you, don't do this to yourself. Stop getting your hopes up. Stop thinking the world's back to normal. Stop thinking we've turned the corner. No. It's bearing down on us, and as early as tomorrow, hundreds of thousands of you in our listening area might be told your county is shutting back down in both Nevada and in California because the case rates are going up, and places that you've been going are going to suddenly close or change, and it's going to devastate you. And that's the point of this email from Raul. He says, and this is interesting because he's living the different version of this. So Raul's major depression is going to come in a couple months. Oh. He says, I finally had my moment yesterday. I went out to a bar in the gay area with a buddy. And when we left, I sat in my car and my allergies just started to kick in because it's so sad to think that something we did regularly is now something we all no longer see as normal. Go into a bar with a buddy. Yeah. The Bay Area has vaulted itself into one of California's top tiers or whatever because the Bay Area has been completely locked down almost this entire time. And so they've gotten the numbers down to extraordinary levels, and so they've been allowed to open back up. And so people like Raul and his friends, they're going out, and guess what's going to happen to the Bay Area? And it's going to be long after it happens to the rest of us.
Yep.
In Sacramento, Reno, Northern California, Northern Nevada, we are on the cusp. Sacramento County and Placer County and Washoe County, those are the major counties in our listening area. They are all literally hanging by a pubic hair before being bumped back a level, which means, depending on what you have open in each of those counties, they all get shut down. Movie theaters, no more bars if you have those open, or if you have a restaurant, it has to be outside only. And Raul down in the Bay Area, he's going to have like a good 4 or 5 weeks. Like, we get to go to people. And guess what else is going to happen? People are going to hear that. And people in Reno are going to plan weekend trips. People in Sacramento are like, hey, the Bay Area is only an hour and a half away. Let's go down there and let's go to a bar. Let's go to a restaurant. And so we will take our COVID with us. And in 4 weeks, Raul will be devastated. Because he's like, I mean, I cried because it used to be just normal to go to a bar, but I'm so happy. See, he's crying tears of happiness. And in a month, he'll be devastated when his bar is closed again. It's just never ending.
So going back to the reminiscing, like in normal times, before 2020, reminiscing, always fun. Oh my gosh, makes you feel good. Days gone by of happy, funny things. And then you're able to go back to your life making new memories that you'll talk about at a later point. The problem with it now in 2020 that I think everyone should be aware of, as we've reminisced, and it is fun and it's brought up stuff, the downer it could cause later is that those things no longer exist. You can't now go out and do them, right? Like whatever you reminisce about, they are things that when you come off of that high, you can't go recreate right now. So that's where it could like really be a Jekyll and Hyde thing. For a moment, it's like, oh my God, yay, that felt so good reminiscing. Oh God, but look at reality.
We got this email on this subject actually came in before the show this morning, rad@radradio.com. No name on it.
Hey, person.
But he attached the article. It's from KOLO, that's Channel 8 ABC in Reno. He says the new article says that Washoe County is still just as bad as when the virus started. The cases have been going up the last few weeks. We shouldn't trick or treat, and that we might shut down again. I figure, this is him writing, I figure cases are going up because testing is getting easier and easier and is being required in more situations, and also because people are just over this whole situation and don't care anymore. Am I wrong? And if they shut us down again, how do we fight back? This is so frustrating. Well, there's a few different questions in there. The second part of your assertion as to why cases are going up is guaranteed. Yes, more and more people are over the whole situation and don't care anymore. We don't know the exact level of this pandemic fatigue, but a lot of us have just decided we want our lives back, we'll live with the virus, et cetera, et cetera. The case is going up because of testing. As of a week and a half ago, nationwide, that was true. That is not true any longer nationwide. I'll get to your county in a second. In like 30 states now, the case rate is going up, and that's different. They've been beating us over the head with numbers of cases. That's not important. Just getting a positive test of COVID is meaningless if we're talking about an asymptomatic person and if we're reporting it as a death sentence. What's important to look at is the case rate. Because we are testing more people every day, and this is the old example. You test 100 people on Monday and 50 people have COVID. You test 200 people on Tuesday and 51 people have COVID, and the headline says, cases increase, because it's one more case, but the rate plummeted. They don't report that part. And we're basing all of our decisions on case rates. The media is talking about cases. In Washoe County, I noticed in the article that you sent over, the district health officer, Kevin Dick, only referenced cases, but I didn't see the case rate, and the rate is what will shut you down. And since they're talking about it, I don't know what you do, how you fight back, and this is going to be the next question for all of us. Is will enough of us, and what will we do? Will we just keep our businesses open? And risk the threat of enforcement, which will come and will be devastating. And if businesses are forced to not be open, what is it we're all going to do? There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. Here's the actual story. Wednesday's COVID-19 press conference, District Health Officer Kevin Dick of Washoe County said that in terms of positive cases, Washoe is now just as bad as when the pandemic first hit. Jeez. The health department recorded a 7-day moving average of 57 new cases daily. On Tuesday, Washoe County reported 158 new cases each day on average. And the 30 to 59-year-olds are the group that saw a significant spike in cases. The overall majority of them will be fine. If county health officials continue to see a constant rise in cases, drastic changes could be on the way. Quote from Kevin Dick. This is how they're all saying it. No matter where you are, Nevada, Montana, across the country, they're all using this. It's the same line you got before. If you want your life back, comply now. This is what we were told all summer, remember?
Yep.
If you just all would wear a mask, this thing will be over in 6 weeks, which is a lie.
Yep.
Because it's a virus. This is how they get you. So here's his quote. And he does it in this passive-aggressive way. This guy must be a real treat as a dad.
Yeah.
If it's not important to us to have the schools open, to have our businesses and our workplaces and the economy open, then we can slack off and ignore the precautions that have been recommended. And that'll put us in a situation where we potentially need to start closing things down again, end quote. It's so parental. It's so evil.
Yep.
It's so despicable. And he did go on and tell people not to trick or treat. Said, quote, your life and the well-being of your children aren't worth a bag of candy. End quote from Kevin Dick in the Washoe County District Health Department. What a well-earned name.
Listen, I just don't think it works anymore.
Jesus.
You've read, you've updated us on numbers of people getting that fatigue and coming around more and more. Yeah. And this is why. Because the things they're telling us to do in the same tone of voice, using the same threats, is what they told us before and before and before, and people complied and did it, and it didn't work. Right? We found ourselves in the same situation, and people are catching on to that. So as he says that, I can just hear a bunch of people going, we've already done that. What are you talking about? These threats now seem to be hollow. And the thing, too, that is, as you talk about us getting used to things, I've gotten used to seeing when I go home or when I'm out and about running errands, cars everywhere now. It looks like full speed ahead. Whether everything's open or not, that's what it looks like on the road with the cars where I'm driving. And yesterday, as I'm leaving downtown Sacramento, and I don't go there often, when I was there last, it was kind of a ghost town. And when people were out, masks everywhere. I didn't see anybody without a mask. Yesterday, as I'm leaving downtown, driving through downtown to get on the freeway to come back home, I'm like, oh my God, traffic. I'm backed up. I'm like, why aren't we going? Because the light's green. Oh my, like all this traffic in the area I was in downtown. I'm not saying that's all of downtown because I can't say that. And as I looked around, there's a park across the way, not one person. Park is packed, not one person in a mask. People are walking around jogging. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this feels so normal right now. And I tried to not savor it too much because of what you're talking about.
Because this brings us back to the emailer and the way we're going to quote unquote fight back. Because remember, the one thing that the health officials and the government officials can do is they can put people out of business if the businesses don't comply. Yeah. They can fine them endlessly. They take their license away, things like that. And so they will do everything they can to save what they think are their political careers, but with this calculation of theirs, and they will order people to shut down more. And there will continue to be some rebels. We had rebels through this whole thing.
Yeah.
And some of them got fined, some of them lived through it, et cetera, et cetera. But most business owners are not in a position to risk getting fined, having OSHA walk in, and all those other things. So places to go will become more minimal. And the way we'll fight back, quote unquote, is the same way we've been fighting back, is we will do everything that we can still do. Yeah. We will do the things that they can tell us not to do, but they can't do anything about. We will continue to gather with each other in our homes in bigger and bigger numbers. And that they can't stop. Nope. They can yell and scream and threaten all they want. But there isn't an actual enforceable way for them to stop us from doing that. And that's the interesting thing about this approach that no one has brought up is the reverse psychology effect of them being the little boy who cried wolf, who saying the same thing as they told us before. And we know that more people, that Dawn is right, more people are saying, no, been there, done that. And I'm tired of this. What will happen is oh yeah, you're tired of it? Fine, we're just going to close everything. We're going to go, okay. They're going to drive us into our homes indoors in the winter with people.
Yeah.
Other people, not our families. More and more of us are going to celebrate, congregate, party together, hug, shake hands, be normal, which we're told is the worst possible thing we could be doing. See, that's the reverse psychology, right? That's the stupidity of it. Yeah. Their very threats is what's going to force more of us to spread the virus more. In Europe yesterday, Germany, shut down restaurants, bars, and theaters all over again. Remember, Europe's about a month ahead of us as a nation. Countries such as Switzerland, Italy, Bulgaria, and Greece have closed bars and restaurants and imposed other restrictions such as curfews and mandatory mask wearing. Deaths are on the rise in Europe. It's a 35% spike from the previous week. France reported their highest daily death count since April. The virus is spreading. It is spreading to people who it will affect, and more people are dying again. Now, what we don't know in that, right, is the why part of it. Are deaths spiking because people who are immunocompromised and older are saying, if this is what takes me out, it takes me out. They're choosing to not care.
Yep.
And if that's the answer, then this goes back to the whole behavioral control thing. Yesterday in France, President Emmanuel Macron announced a second lockdown of the whole nation, saying a new nationwide lockdown is the only possible way to successfully fight COVID. It's the same. You're not listening to a best of show from April or July right now.
I feel like a lot of old, I don't have stats on it, but I just feel like since COVID started, there have been a lot of old people that have just continued to live their lives, because I was guilty of this. I remember when it all first happened, seeing old people out, I'd be like, what are they doing? Why are they out? Why aren't they wearing a mask? And do they not know? And it's like, you know what? Yeah, they knew, and they were choosing otherwise, which they...
How dare they?
How dare they? Which they should be.
If they're comfortable with it, they should be.
Right, if they're comfortable with it, absolutely.
And I don't say that caveat for personal reasons. My father is 89 years old. So right away he's high risk. There's other health issues. He has pretty much isolated himself since March, and he's quote unquote fine with it.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, it's taking its toll.
Sure, eventually.
He is not a person that is comfortable, and he shouldn't be. But if you are, if he was tomorrow, if he said, son, I'm tired of this, and I want to come up and I want to do Thanksgiving with you and Christina, or you come down here, I would go.
Yeah.
It's not my choice to make. Yeah. God damn it.
There's a new documentary on, and I don't remember if it was Showtime or HBO.
Is it a documentary or a movie?
It's a documentary for sure.
Because documentaries can be movies.
Apparently, but I don't buy it. And I'm no help because I do not remember if it was HBO or Showtime, and I don't even remember the name of it.
Wow, Dawn, this is fantastic. This is like when your family tells you just made a great recipe. Ah, crap, I didn't write anything down. Well, you'll never have that again. So Dawn's about to recommend a show that you can't find.
No, but I feel that it is. I felt that I only watched about 20, 25 minutes of it. It definitely seems to be slanted more liberal, which whatever, that's fine. Just but some people like to know that. It's like maybe it's America's 2020 because it does encompass COVID and it gets to the election. And when they're talking about COVID, the thing that drove me nuts was they go to like a funeral where all the bodies go, the dead bodies go, right? And they're showing the stacks of bodies that are going to be for cremation. And she said, usually you get it done in a day. Now we've got to schedule it out. It's going to take weeks. And she says, I know for some people this doesn't feel real, but here it is. It's real. And I'm sitting there going, but we can't see these people. And are these all old people? You're making it seem like to look at that was jarring. However, I need details. They were old and got it, or they were immune compromised and they got it. They didn't talk about that at all. So I felt it to be, that's why I stopped watching. I felt this to be misleading. You're not giving us enough information.
Could it be American Consequences 2020?
I think that's it.
Do you have Amazon?
I do.
Okay, it's on.
So maybe
it's available on Amazon. If that's it, so that's a
that's
possible
it, yeah.
one.
Possible,
but it could
because they also start out showing the other side. There were some business owners in New York and a bar, and they were just thoroughly upset. And I don't blame them. They were like, "We're completely shut down." This is when it all started happening, but they still expect us to pay this tax and that tax. And where the hell are we going to get that from? We're not open. We can't make any money. So they were at least showing like that devastation about it as well. But then they were just leaving too many details out.
So I'll just do one more. Just again under the whole thing, right? You're getting set up for all of this, then we'll move on. Here's another thing that is continuing. It's just like this reminds me so much of the summer when they started canceling things and they started postponing things. And in the remember in the beginning, in March and April, they would cancel things and they'd reschedule them for the magical month of October.
Yeah. Well, we're here.
And then we got closer, right? And people kept clinging to Aftershock was going to happen, and then they got, and we never understood this. Remember, they've already canceled spring break for colleges. It's like, why? Because they don't want people to spring of 2021. Well, yesterday it was announced that the Boston Marathon will not be held on its traditional date in April of 2021. They have canceled the Boston Marathon for April of next year and say they'll move it to the fall of next year, fall of 2021. Date to be announced. And now is a perfect time for the pandemic bailout. I wish it were real and literal. Instead, it's a bunch of stuff, which is the only thing we have anymore. That and each other, because we're all in each together. Pandemic Bailout every morning, 7, 8, and 9 a.m. is brought to you by Tahoe Blue Vodka, the official vodka of RAD Radio at TahoeBlueVodka.com.
That's the real savior
Jesus,
in COVID times.
I'll say. We're going to get you qualified to win 5 different prize packages, 5 different winners, 5 different packages. They're each worth between $4,000 and $8,000.
Cha-ching.
And they're all listed at RADRadio.com. We're going to play Treble Trouble right now, where we give you a 3-second clip of a song, and you give us the title to win. Caller 18 guesses first, then 19, then 20. And if none of you know the title, droplets everywhere and no winner.
We need a winner.
Phone number is 888-989-9811 for Treble Trouble right now.
Rob, anybody, and Dawn. The Rob, anybody, and Dawn Show.